Welcome back. Right now, Republicans are huddling off the floor to figure out what does come next. After moments ago, the House adjourned until 8 p.m. tonight, following a 6 failed vote to name a speaker. If they come into session, there's only one thing they can do. They have to vote on a speaker. So at 8 p.m. tonight, we're going to have vote number 7. Joined now by Congresswoman Stephanie Bice, a Republican from Oklahoma. She's a member of the Elected Leadership Committee, has voted for Kevin McCarthy all 6 times so far. Congresswoman, thank you for being here. So help us fill in our viewers here. Why 8 p.m. tonight are you coming back and not noon tomorrow?
Well, I think there's continued negotiations that are happening within our conference to try to get to that magic 218 number and be able to elect Kevin McCarthy for Speaker.
Can you, look, I have neighbors ask me, what's the holdup? When somebody asks you at home in Oklahoma or a family member, what's the holdup? What's your answer?
You know, I think there's a faction of our caucus that really wants to see fundamental change. They've asked for a lot of modifications either to the rules packages or other requests. And at the end of the day, some of these requests are actually incredibly thoughtful and helpful to the conference, but there's others that may not be. And so it is a negotiation process. It takes time. I have said to many of my folks back home, democracy is messy, and that's okay. It may not happen overnight, but it may happen very soon. And at the end of the day, I think what I hope folks know and recognize is that you have a vast majority of this conference, over 200 Republicans that continue to support Kevin McCarthy, even on the 6th vote, the 7th vote, the 8th vote. At the end of the day, we feel like Kevin McCarthy is best prepared to lead this conference in 118th, and that's why we're prepared to stay here as long as it takes.
About a half hour ago, I was talking with James Comer, and I asked him about what's a sticking point, and he said, well, one of them might be the motion to vacate. And he's like, if you want to go back to one member, fine. If that's really what closes this deal, do it. Is that where you are on that issue?
You know, I think the motion to vacate negotiation, many of us were looking at maybe a 25% number to be able to put up a motion to vacate. Obviously, this select group of members wanted a 1-vote threshold. The 5-vote that we came up with, I think, was a compromise. And I want to just remind people that compromise isn't always a bad term. It's not a bad word. And we're trying to make those concessions right now so we can get to a landing place here. At the end of the day, Chuck, the American people want us to govern. They are tired of one-party Democrat rule. They want to see the House Republicans take charge and start asking the tough questions. You know, finding out why our southern border is wide open and why it hasn't been addressed. Finding out why fentanyl is killing hundreds of people every day across this country. Why we continue to have struggles with energy production across this nation. These are the things the American people are asking us to do, and Republicans are ready to get to work as soon as we can get this speaker's race over.
Are you of the mindset that, look, if this takes days, then it takes days? I've talked to some members who believe you can't let 20 members dictate everything. You brought up, 91% of the conference has been voting for Kevin McCarthy on every ballot. So, but if he's not your candidate all of a sudden, then they've won. Is that something that you think is a bridge too far?
I think that's actually a fair assessment, and there are many members of the conference that do feel that way. This is a small faction of the conference, a small minority, as you said. The majority of us have continued to support Kevin and will continue to support Kevin. Do we need to make some concessions to get there? Yes, and we're willing to do that. But at the end of the day, Kevin McCarthy has spent the last 4 years helping us win the majority back. Is it the majority that we may have wanted in the 118th Congress? No, but it is still a majority. And if you look at my election cycle, the 2020 cycle, we didn't lose a single incumbent, and we won 15 seats when pundits in the media thought that we would be losing 15 to 20. Kevin McCarthy has raised more money in the last couple of years to protect incumbents and to get new members elected, and that's why we feel like he's best suited to lead this conference.
Stephanie Bice, Congresswoman from Oklahoma, second term. Really appreciate you coming on and sharing your perspective. Good luck. Hopefully it's not too late of a night.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.